Fresh fragrances? Nice, I could go for that. It's too hot. Terrible performance. They're going hand in hand. It doesn't have to be that way. Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. How about some fresh fragrances that actually last in the heat? All of these linked in the description, like this one right here, Light Blue Eau Intense by Dolce & Gabbana, which word on the street is, probably not gonna be around too much longer. Gotta love that. Anytime that something that's actually good gets, that's great. But yeah, Light Blue Eau Intense, this right here, it will last, it will keep projecting even through the high humidity, the high heat. This one right here has been one of the best light blue fragrances ever since it came out. And that's saying something because for a long time, Dolce & Gabbana was dropping a light blue fragrance every single year. Some of them better than others. I will say that. But with so many coming out, you would think that this would, fall down the rankings and become an also-ran, but it never did. At least I don't think so. It's still good. It's good. It's got a sea salty marine accord, bits of musk and woods as it dries down, and of course, big old pop of citrus when you first spray it on, especially grapefruit. And even if it does eventually become really difficult to find and becomes one of those discontinued fragrances where the price skyrockets on eBay or whatever, for now, you can still find it. So all is good for now. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense you can still roll with. What if you don't like blue in your fragrance bottles at all? Or you're screwed. Most all of these are blue, but this one is not. It's silver. It's YSL Myslf L'Absolu. Now there is a new one coming out, I think in May sometime, but you never know exactly when a new fragrance is gonna hit. Myslf Eau de Toilette Intense, and that one could very well be in this list. I've got no clue. Once I get my nose on it, I'll have a better clue, but that's not now, so. This one though does work. It lasts, it projects really nicely for a fresh fragrance. It takes that Myslf DNA, that orange blossom forward scent profile that people absolutely adore, and gives it a nice gingery blast when you first spray it on. Also a little bit of citrus in there, of course, to capture the attention. It is a big time compliment puller. The versatility is huge. This is not just a summertime fragrance. Realistically, you can rock that whenever you want, but it's fresh enough that during summer, if you want something that's gonna last, it's gonna project, scoop that up. Could also go with the original Myslf, but I think between this one and that one, if I were gonna get just one and I wanted to really have something that's gonna cut through the heat, I'd go for this one. But that one's good too. So realistically, either one, I guess. Now this next one is pretty strong, guys. It's pretty strong. Off my skin, it projects, it lasts a long time, so the performance is not in question. The only potential issue is when it gets really hot and humid. If you have a fragrance that has a little sweetness to it, and you spray it on kind of heavy, like a true madman. I know you are. I know you're a little unhinged, and you like to blast those fragrances on. You want people to smell you. Sometimes, rein it in, just a little bit. Just rein it in, brother. Let them come to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you know? I don't know. Let them come to you. Invictus Parfum. It's got that Invictus DNA. It's got that fresh meats, somewhat bubblegummy sweet aspect. This one is soapier though. It's a little bit classier than the original Invictus. It is absolutely an attention grabber though. People still mess with the Invictus DNA. They still like it. I mean, look at all the fragrances coming out that have Invictus style to them. Nitro Red, for example, that stuff was massive. And it was basically a gussied up form of Invictus, right? So Invictus Parfum, you want something that is gonna hit you with both fresh, sweet, and clean at the same time and cut through the heat and frankly the cold. You can get that right there. Just don't go crazy, crazy, crazy on that trigger, man. Have a little patience when it's super hot. What does patience have to do with fragrance? I'm not even actually sure. Check this out right here. This is from Riiffs. It is called Seasons Drift. And this one smells similar to Bleu de Chanel Exclusif. That's what it's supposed to be a dupe of, but it is with a twist. Yeah, twist-a-rooney, which you can probably tell what the twist is just by looking at this color scheme and everything and the little beach scene that it has there on the front. It is a fresher version of Bleu de Chanel Exclusif. And it has a pretty pungent push to it. Yeah, especially off the top. So to me, they ramp up that citrus when you first spray this on, kind of like getting slapped by a limon, along with kind of a green edge to it as well. But yeah, you get popped in the nose as soon as you spray this stuff on. You can tell right away that it's in the same wheelhouse as Bleu de Chanel Exclusive, but again, it has twisted itself, it's changed around, and it's tried to be made into more of a daytime summer fresh vibe. As it dries, it gets closer to Bleu de Chanel Exclusive. So if you do a side-by-side, the opening, they're pretty different. But once it hits that full dry down, it gets a lot more similar at that point. And that's really when it will lock in, like, okay, Bleu de Chanel dupe at that point, sure. But again, I think the opening, pretty different. So it's got that going for it, and also the performance. This stuff projects, it lasts, and it could be even off the top a little bit too much sometimes. When you spray this on, man, sometimes you're just like, let that settle, brother. All right, this next one, a classic. It's a classic go-to fragrance, not really for summer necessarily, for any time. It is Dylan Blue. Yep, Versace Dylan Blue. So it's got a little bit of an ambery vibe to it as it dries down. You're gonna get a little more warmth, a little more sweetness in there once you hit that full dry down. Though it's also done in a very modern way. There's like ambroxan in there as well, so you're gonna get that modern, fresh, woody aspect alongside the ambery bits and pieces. But at its heart, it's a blue fragrance. It's made to be worn just about anytime, anywhere. Winter, yeah, you can pull it off then. Summer, absolutely. And with that comes the versatility of being able to pull it off in high heat situations and having it work. Now, it's not gonna be the first thing that pops into your head when you think about fresh, right? See that word, fresh? Blech. It's not gonna be the first thing that you think of. It's gonna be, as far as Versace goes, probably Versace Man Eau Fraiche or Versace Pour Homme. Some people might even say Blue Jeans or Eros Energy, potentially even Eros Flame. And all of those can be used, right? But Dylan Blue just has that Swiss Army knife ability to it. Daytime, yeah, wear it. Evening, sure, wear it. A date, yeah. The office, whatever. Dylan Blue just works. It's a workhorse, and it's not too expensive, so had to pop it in here and give it a shout out because even though it's not as fresh as, say, this or even this, it still works, and it still has freshness to it, like pretty much all blue fragrances do. The next one is an absolute go-to. Unbelievably easy to pull off, whether it's daytime or evening, and it's another one that gives you that year-round versatility, even though the fragrance is generally more of a summertime scent. And I've got it right here. But before that fragrance, I would like to give you codes. These are also in the description, so you can just copy and paste if that's easier for you. But I have codes across a bunch of different discounters where you can save money on clones, niche, designers, whatever. Here they are on your screen. Got Fragflex, JOMASHOP, the Perfume Box, Beauty House, and more. So anytime you shop at those stores, use one of those codes, save yourself some cash. Next fragrance, Acqua di Gio. This is the Parfum. Yeah, I think the Parfum is the go-to if you're wanting a little more oomph to your Acqua di Gio. Now, it's not crazy heavy or anything. It is a Parfum, but it's not like an unbelievably unchained, nose-scorching kind of fragrance, right? It lasts, it projects pretty well, especially for a freshie. It has a little more depth to it compared to most of the other Acqua di Gios out there. A little bit of that incensey kind of vibe that comes through. But at the end of the day, it's an Acqua di Gio. So you can wear it pretty much whenever you want. And I've worn a lot of Acqua di Gio over the years. Whenever it's my time, guys, I'm gonna have a little tombstone. It'll be like, loving fun, blah, 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 whatever. And then there'll be a little bottle of Drakkar Noir etched on there. A little bottle of Acqua di Gio there. And then Armani's lawyers will somehow find out and they'll come over there and be like, that's trademark, can't have that there. Smash this tombstone right now. Dig up this body and throw it into an incinerator. I'm just playing, Armani's lawyers wouldn't do that, Chanel's would. Check out this little bro right here up next. This is Mykonos Inception. It doesn't say it right there, it actually says it right there, Inception. This is an extrait to Parfum, so it's almost like cheating, because you already know that this stuff is gonna come out and just stick on your skin like an oil slick and just stay there all day. Atomizer on this one absolutely slaps. For this tiny little bottle, it's out projecting all these others just as far as that goes. Oh, it's everywhere. So Inception here, this smells similar to Imagination by Louis Vuitton, only stronger. Hence the whole extrait to Parfum and being in this video and everything. Another good one from Mykonos that would work also because of the same reasons and everything is Reflection, which smells similar to Symphony, also by Louis Vuitton. Either of those scents gonna do you really well if you're looking for a citrus forward fragrance that absolutely commands attention and will just stick on your skin, if not eat directly through it, because it's pretty strong. Just most fresh heats you don't expect to stick around all that long. These do. The next one, Turathi Blue. Yeah, kind of slam that down a little bit. So with this guy right here, looking at a bunch of citrus once again, also has amber, has musk. It smells similar to Bulgari's Tiger. And the longevity on this is once again fantastic, especially when you consider the price point. It used to be a little bit cheaper. It's gone up slightly over time. That being said, that makes it sound like I'm going, oh, you know, this is it's $80 and it used to be 12. No, it's more like it's low 30s now and it used to be mid 20s. So yes, it's gone up, but it's still not really that high. Ralph Lauren up next, Polo 67. I'm not gonna do the meme. I'm not gonna do it. 67. This is the Eau de Parfum. You could also go with the Extreme. That one has some solid longevity to it as well. Really nicely done. The Eau de Toilette is affordable, smells good, works great as a summertime fragrance, nice and fresh as well. But if you're looking for a little more oomph, go with this one or the Extreme. Now, while the longevity here is good, it's long lasting, all that stuff, projection is a little bit more normal. It's not weak. It's just not like room filling necessarily, unless you went really, really heavy. And at that point, you could fill up a room, I bet. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. You spray enough of this, room filler. In terms of the notes, citrus, pineapple, lavender, smells fantastic. Man, the opening here I think is great. Actually, I'm gonna blast a little bit on here real quick. Wasted tester strip, why not? Nice aromatic facets to the fragrance as well. A little bit of cardamom, kind of a green cardamom, not like a really warm, dense, syrupy type of cardamom note in here. A little bit of a resinous woodiness as it dries down, but it still maintains that freshness really well. Great daytime or evening fragrance in my opinion. Love this stuff. And since it's been out for a little while, the price has dropped down compared to full retail, about I think half roughly. You can pick it up for like 65-ish for a 4.2 ounce size bottle at discounters, so pretty nice. I'd like it even more if the price dropped a little bit further, but you know, what are you gonna do? Turn into the Jay Leno of fragrances. Well, what are you gonna do with the fragrance over here? Hawas Ice by Rasasi. You guys remember a time in the way back, the beyond, you know, the years in the past, when Rasasi remembered they could make fragrances not named Hawas. It's insane. It's hard to wrap your mind around, really, when you think about it. Because right this millisecond, as I'm sitting here, standing here, talking to you, Hawas has announced 4 new fragrances that aren't even out yet. Did I say Hawas has announced? Rasasi has announced 4 new Hawas. See, at this point, it's just the Hawas brand. Lava Gold, Thunder, Chrome, and Exotic. I do like Chrome. They're like, oh, Zaro Chrome, who cares? We got a Chrome now, sucker. Can't wait for them to come out with Hawas Sauvage, and then it doesn't smell like Sauvage. It smells like Altair or something. Who cares at this point, you know? It's the Wild West. But that time did exist, back before it became the Hawas brand, and Hawas Ice was one of the first Hawas flankers to come out, and it's still one of the best. Take that Hawas DNA, you know, that bubblegummy sweetness, freshen it up even more, give it a nice briskness. Keep that performance though. Don't let it get weak. Don't let it become just like a piddly little summer freshie, you know? They kept it juiced, straight up roided out. You gotta respect that. Hawas Ice is one of the easiest recommendations. If you're saying, I want something that is a blend of fresh and sweet, but I want it to get me noticed. I don't care about being subtle. I'm just trying to, you know, have my fragrance reach out and pimp slap people. Don't ever say that. Just imagine that. They like go up to somebody like, oh, my fragrance is gonna pimp slap you. Hawas Ice. And I wanna hit you guys with just a real quick bonus one. This right here, Y Iced Cologne, kind of like doubling up with the 2 icy fragrances here. So Iced Cologne, obviously the newest Y as of right now, also really minty, very brisk when you spray it on, almost cooling to an extent. And while I'm featuring Y Iced Cologne here, you could go with Y Eau de Parfum. I know some people are gonna be like, nah, that one's too sweet. And if that's the case, you could dial down this phrase, but Y Eau de Parfum would work, Y Elixir would work, kind of the same deal with Y EDP though. Potentially Y Eau de Toilette would be the easiest one outside of this one for high heat situations because it doesn't have as much sweetness. You could spray it a little bit heavier if you wanted to. But the Y line in general, if you're looking for something that has a nice balance, again, of fresh meets sweet, you could roll with that line, your favorite one, and just adjust sprays depending on what your favorite one is. So there we go, guys. There are some scents right here where even if it is stupid hot outside, you can roll with these and they'll stick around. And I should know because it has been a heat wave here lately, actually a drought. So that's pretty fun. When you're just like doing a rain dance, like, come on guys, come on, please. All right guys, that'll do it for me. Let me know your go-to fragrance, your fresher fragrance that you will bust out if it's really hot and you know it's gonna last. Thank you for hanging in with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourself. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.